So I had already recorded this video and I was editing when Amber went live and made her allegations against Tammy that are now leading to a lawsuit.
And you know what my aunt did? She forced these little kids to say that they were lying. So, Auntie, take that and yourself.
So, of course, I went and covered that. I kind of dropped what I was doing to talk about that. And then, of course, Amber is leaving YouTube for a little bit, and that's giving us a little bit of a break. So, I am now going back and catching up. But while she's gone, I will probably slow down on uploads for a little while, and I might cover some different topics. And then I will probably do some of the retro videos, like the Beck era, things like that. And now that the kids are back in school, I might have some time to do some live streaming. I think that would be fun. I did a live stream with ALT and Kinda Sav and had a blast. And it gave me a little confidence to do it on my own. So we'll just kind of see, but I will let you know. In the meantime, just enjoy this video and I will see you next time. Hello, my friends. So we're going to pick up where we left off because in the last live, she accidentally turned it off in the middle of ranting about cussing out minors.
You verbally abuse a 13-year-old and you don't care. Oh my god, here we go. I don't care. You know what?
So let's just see what other crazy stuff she has to say from her live on Tuesday. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that would literally be hectic. I'm not gonna lie.
We need vlogs. Oh my god.
Yeah. So she ends up having to make up crap like, I'm afraid to take my blood pressure medication, and the ER story about meeting people and all that kind of crap, because she has no actual life to talk about. She doesn't have anything interesting to make a live stream entertaining. So she just has to make stuff up. But she's not very good at it. So it's going to get real boring real quick. And I guess the good news is, now that she is taking a break from YouTube, maybe when she comes back, she will have some new stories to tell. Maybe about a lawsuit.
What's for dinner? Nothing. No, I really don't know.
Yeah, at least she caught herself there, right? She says nothing. Nah, like, okay, nothing. I imagine whatever it is, it's going to be door dashed, and it's probably going to be very healthy.
Have you tried recording right in TikTok doing vlogs? There is like no editing because it's cap cut in there already. I don't understand all that.
So that's actually pretty funny because my kids are very young and they understand CapCut. It is not hard to use at all. TikTok makes it very easy to create edited videos and stuff. So it is kind of right up her alley because it is easy, it's quick, and I think she would probably like it. But the funny thing is she's too lazy to take a couple of minutes to learn it. So she's going to always do it the hard way. And I will say most of her audience is on YouTube, but CapCut is just really, really user friendly and it sort of streamlines uploading to TikTok, but you can also then just upload it to YouTube as well. So she could kind of kill two birds with one stone and do it far easier than she's doing it now. But she won't.
I don't eat fast food anymore, so I am no longer almost 400 pounds. Oh, you can be skinny and eat fast food. You can lose weight and eat fast food. Fast food ain't the culprit. It's the calorie deficit.
That's not wrong, but it is far easier to have a calorie deficit when you're not eating fast food. That's the point. Fast food just generally has a lot of calories.
I lost 180 pounds while eating McDonald's the whole time. Exactly, Jay. Exactly. Shit. Don't let go of the things you love. Like for me, like genuinely, like when I do the all or nothing, it triggers me more than anything else. If I
Yeah, that all or nothing. That's what triggers her for sure. When she tries to cut out food, that's when she eats the most. But she loves comments like that because it feels like it gives her permission. They're like, I ate McDonald's and I lost 180 pounds. She's like, yeah, hell yeah. Woo, I can do that. That's what I want to do. And then she says, don't let go of the things you love. But the problem is you love eating crap and you love eating a ton of it. So, yeah, for a normal person, you can just say, eat the things you love, but just eat less of it. But you can't do that. You don't have the self-control And again, if you knew what you were talking about, you wouldn't look like this. She needs far more help than eat what you love, just eat less of it. That's never going to work for her.
If I tell myself I can't have something, it makes me want it a million times more. And genuinely, I already wanted it bad enough.
She when I tell myself I can't have something, I want it more. And I understand wanting what you can't have. But Amber uses that as an excuse to eat whatever she wants. I allow myself to have what I want because if I don't, I eat more. You eat more regardless. So it doesn't really matter if she tells herself she can't have something or tries to, lessen her intake or whatever, because the end result is always going to be the same. She's just going to eat whatever she wants because she's got to have her yum yums.
It's all about calories in, calories out. Yeah. Jay, I need to talk to you. I need you to give me advice. I need you to give me inspiration. Do you have an Instagram? Let's be like, give me like weight loss stuff. I need to know like what do you eat, how many calories. I need
So Jay said it's all about calories in and calories out, energy expenditure. And Amber expends the bare minimum amount of energy. But the thing is, Jay, the whole time has been talking about how he ate Chick-fil-A. And then he says, I lost 180 pounds on McDonald's. And that's great. And it is possible. But you must be new around here if you think Amber can do that. That is just never going to happen for Amber. She cannot control her portion sizes, her intake. She will just eat until she can't eat anymore, and then she'll wait a little bit and do it all over again. Also, notice that Amber acknowledged the super chat saying, I love you, this is my first super chat. Right after that, there was one that says, why did you lie about being a substance baby?
Are you a drug baby? My mom did drugs with me and her. Yes.
I was actually born a drug baby. I'm a drug baby, and I didn't find that out until about a year ago.
And she has ignored that question every time, just completely ignored it. And she did lie. She absolutely lied about being a substance baby because sympathy. That's why.
I need to know all the tea because it motivates me. It inspires me when I hear other people's like journeys,
Yeah.
you know?
She's been so motivated, you guys. She's heard lots of journeys, and look how well it's motivated her. Like, very motivated.
My hair is not it right now. My hair is not it right now.
You know what would be funny is if Jay, who lost all the weight eating McDonald's and stuff, was on like Wegovy or something. That would be funny because Amber's already tried that.
Oh my god, you guys need to try the with the nuggets. Try the what's it called? What's that sauce called? It's like a chili sauce at McDonald's. I'm like, oh, girl, the only thing that inspires you is the new seasonal sauces at McDonald's. It's just not funny. It's just not
Yes, it
funny. I
is.
didn't laugh.
That was pretty funny because she talks about being inspired and motivated by weight loss. By weight loss. Yeah. That's bullshit. But she talks about food as though it is the most amazing thing that has ever happened. So, yeah, she is inspired by food. That is pretty funny. I approve that comment.
And I just didn't laugh. So
I'm sure you didn't. I did. I got a chuckle. And it was true.
so do not watch The Young and the Restless. No.
So, I actually know what that is. This says, do you watch The Young and the Restless? That was one of my mom's favorite shows. She would watch Young and the Restless, All My Children, General Hospital, and One Life to Live. Those were her 4 favorite soap operas. And when she would like clean the house or whatever, it would always be on. And I got into it too when I was young. During the summers and stuff when I was home, I actually got to where I kind of knew the characters and everything. My friends would come over. We'd be walking through the living room and I'd be like, what's Jessica doing? Did she find her man or whatever? I don't remember the stories or anything, but we would have conversations about Young and the Restless and all those characters and stuff. So just hearing that name sort of brought back some memories. That was kind of cool.
I think I'm gonna get off though, folks. I think it's that time. I wish I didn't have to do these in 2 separate lives. That oh, it's so
There's 40 minutes left. So I wonder what happens.
Did you see Taylor Swift's engagement? Oh, the Swifties are gonna come for me. I don't care that she's engaged. Is that bad? Like, okay, cool, good for you.
That's giving a little bit of jealous, you know? Giving a little bit of, I thought I would be married before Taylor Swift vibes. And I don't care either, but just the way she's like, good for you. Almost like, God, I thought I would win.
MP, welcome to Stream Queens Mini.
Why is it called Stream Queens Mini now? It's the only thing she does.
Who was Tammy at the buffet with? Probably her hubs. Because he a big guy. I need me a big boy. A big boy.
Really? Really? You're gonna say someone else is big, make fun of them and roll your eyes? That was so cringe, it was painful to watch. So we're gonna watch it again. Oh, there it is. Oh, yuck.
Because he a big guy. I need me a big boy. A big boy.
You're welcome. But the immaturity there is really off the charts. All right, so another super chat from Jay Blue saying, why are you ignoring me? Why did you claim to be a substance baby?
There's an app I can tell you about. Oh, yes, Corky, please.
And then she reads this one. She just ignores it.
Listen. I told Eric. I said, Eric, if podcasts were a thing when we were roommates, we would have had a bomb-ass podcast.
I think podcasts were a thing. Hang on. Podcasts officially started in 2003. Now, obviously, they didn't really take off right then, but still, by 2010, they were a regular thing. That was a thing that was happening. Now, they were not nearly as popular back then as they are now, obviously, but I mean, they were a thing.
We would have had a bomb-ass podcast. And he goes, we could still do one. Imagine. Oh my God. You guys would hear the tea of it all. It would be so fun. Because me and Eric can, like, genuinely.
Yeah, her and Eric are a lot alike. They are both, from what I can tell, very self-centered, very self-serving. They don't care who they step on, who they hurt to get what they want. So, yeah, I imagine that would be an interesting podcast. But you know what's not ever going to happen in ever? A podcast with Amberlynn. You know why? Because it takes a minuscule amount of effort, and she's just not going to do that. So if she ever says she's going to go on a show, or if she ever says she's going to do a podcast or release merch or anything like that, it's just not going to happen. She did release merch at one point, of course, is not around anymore, and it was just the most basic shit you've ever seen. It was just type that said Dainty Girl or something. There was going to be some merch when her and Emily were together the first time, and it was all Emily. Emily did everything.
But I don't know how to make merch. I'm not good at it. I've never been taught, and I know that I can teach myself, but it's not really something that I've been fully interested in. But Tommy surprised me and made me some merch. Yes, she did.
So unless she gets somebody to do things for her, the live streams and the vlogs are all you're ever going to get from Amber. Because anything else would take some learning and some thought and some effort.
Yeah, he was saying that we could do it virtually. And I'm like, how? Like, how would you? I don't know.
See? She watches podcasts. She sees the people in their little windows and sees that they are in different locations. And yet, when somebody says, hey, we could do it virtually, she's like, what? Really? Like, this is the level of understanding that we're dealing with. She is a professional YouTuber. Her job is to be on the internet and to make content on the internet. And when somebody says we can do a podcast virtually, she couldn't figure it out. What? And again, it's because figuring that out or understanding it would have taken a second or two to look into it or to even just think about it, right? She sees these podcasts. She has to think for a second, hey, they're in different places. They must be doing this virtually. But that was just too much thought, you know?
Are you splitting? This isn't splitting.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not splitting. Neither is what you called splitting. You were describing a dissociative identity disorder episode.
It's called splitting. When you literally turn into someone that you're not.
But that's also not what splitting is. It's almost like you don't know what you're talking about and you just make stuff up based on what you see on the internet.
Yeah, Discord. See, but the thing is, I would want it to be to where I can still edit it in case, like, he said something he didn't mean to, or there was like a lull, or I said something I didn't mean to. I want to be able to edit the episodes.
Yeah, you can, again, somebody says you can use Discord. And she was like, yeah, but I want to edit it. Yeah, you can do that. You just use Discord for the communication and you record it through like a screen recording. There are a lot of ways to do it. But do you think every podcast on earth is unedited? Do you think you would be the first one to edit your podcast? Again, professional content creator for over a decade. She has no clue. She has no clue. And that's why she's never going to do anything unless somebody else does all the work, right? If Eric does all the work, and maybe if he sends her a link and just says, click this and we'll start going, she might. But even that, man, I don't think she would. I think that's too much work.
God, I swear to you, our podcast will be banging. Banging. I just don't think I could do a podcast by myself.
No, well, you basically do already. What would you talk about? She would have nothing of substance to talk about with her own podcast. Now, I do think Eric is a lot more charismatic.
The gingerbread men, because it makes me think of Shrek. Does it make anyone else think of Shrek?
No.
You never.
Makes me think of Krampus.
No, it makes me think of Gingy from Shrek, where he's like, do you know it? The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man.
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I do. Okay.
The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man.
Oh wow.
I think Eric probably could carry a podcast, at least for a little bit, just by being snarky and stuff like that. But him and Amber together would just get boring pretty quick. They would spill whatever tea they've got right at the beginning, which is probably not much, right? Because if Amber has tea, she would have spilled it already. Plus, any tea that she had to spill, it would be hard to believe her anyway. And it would just get boring after that. They would just talk to each other about random stuff. And really, I doubt they would have anything interesting to say about current topics or pop culture or anything.
I tried with the whole like So Raw thing, which genuinely I liked So Raw. That was fun because I was able to talk about a bunch of different topics. And
All right, so it turns out she did 4 So Raw episodes, and it was just her normal stuff. And of course, the 3rd episode is the one where she told the story of Beck's proposal and basically just made fun of Beck. That's what So Raw is really known for. So after the 4th episode of So Raw, she said this in the following video.
I'll let everyone know that there will not be a So Raw video. People weren't liking those very much either.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because they were literally just her talking like normal. It wasn't really anything special. And it was probably really boring. So she sits here and says, I liked So Raw. Well, no one else did. And that's the important thing. It's the audience, not you.
will you team up with QLR? Porky Love Rose. We've thought about it. I know the one.
So I don't think that's true. But even if it was, again, that would never happen. And I think it's so funny that people keep asking her, are you going to team up with so-and-so? Are you going to do this show? Are you going to go on this podcast? No, the answer is always going to be no. If it requires more than what she's always done, which is the bare minimum, regardless of what she says, the real answer is no.
Would I eat bangers and mash? I don't know what that is.
Okay, I understand she's from America, and we in America tend to ignore cultures outside our own. But at her age, how has she not heard of bangers and mash? Maybe I'm crazy, but I just assumed most people, as you grow up, you just hear the term bangers and mash, whether it's through a movie or a TV show or just general pop culture, especially if you're on the internet all the time. Somebody at some point has said bangers and mash, I'm sure. By the way, bangers and mash is awesome. It's so good. It's just sausage and mashed potatoes. But I don't know, maybe I am showing my privilege here that I somehow learned about bangers and mash while I was growing up and Amber didn't. But it just seems weird that at her age, she had never heard of that. So Dylan says, Amber, I'm not being macabre, but when will you take this seriously? You could have a major cardiovascular event any moment. And she's the one that just said she could have had a blood clot. So she seems awfully flippant for somebody who, according to her, was on the verge of a stroke one day before this.
Yeah, Marigold. I was like stroke level. I was stroke level today. Like it was stroke level.
And this is her reaction.
Hey Dylan, I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. Let's just like move on from that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something like nicer.
Yeah, because I don't really want to talk about the stuff that I brought up because I just like saying I have a medical thing, getting the initial sympathy from people, and then moving on because chances are I won't remember what I said.
Why were you so mean to Corky last stream? Oh, speaking of, you guys hear that? That's called bare leg. Um,
She's Winnie the Poohing again, and I don't think this is a dress. You know, last time she said, yeah, you're not really supposed to wear pants with a dress anyway.
even if I wasn't wearing pants, when you wear a dress, you're technically not supposed to be wearing pants, and 9 times out of 10, I'm literally wearing a dress.
Which, again, she does not wear dresses. She wears shirts that are supposed to be dresses. And gross. Because I am going to just reiterate, picture what's happening on that couch right now. Just really I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize for what I'm about to do, but really picture what's happening on that couch right now. Even if she does have a thin layer of undergarment, that couch needs to be put out of its misery at this point.
So I was not mean to Corky. I would never be mean to Corky. But we're being gaslit by a bunch of people because people said that I was blackmailing her.
Oh, yeah. So basically, what happened was somebody says they think that Rosie's going to betray Amber. And Amber was like, well, if she does want to betray me, I know stuff about her that I could say.
So you think on October 11th, 2025, Rosie is going to betray me? I think so, because I know things that she doesn't want the YouTubes to know. So it's like if she betrays me, it's like why would you betray someone who knows like private stuff? Why would you?
I mean, that just comes off as kind of petty and not very friendly. And you know what's funny? That actually says a lot about Amber because she wants to convince everybody that she and Rosie are friends, and she wants Rosie to think that they're friends. But as soon as somebody says, I think Rosie's going to betray you, instead of saying, no, we're friends, I don't think she would do that, her first thought is to say, oh, yeah, well, if she says something about me, I can say something about her too. Almost like she's never had a friend or has never learned how to be a friend. And every relationship is transactional or conditional. As long as you're being nice, as long as you are not, doing something that I don't like, then we're friends. But as soon as you do something I don't like, then I can do the same to you. She would be a terrible friend.
I would never be mean to Corky. But we're being gaslit by a bunch of people because people said that I was blackmailing her.
And I can kind of see what they're talking about because she's saying if she says something about me, I could say something about her. I've got some tea on her. So I don't know that blackmail is necessarily the correct term, but kinda. Blackmailing her into silence. Yeah, I guess that would work. But I think the whole thing is all very stupid. So who cares? So somebody says, if you don't listen to Hi Ren, you owe me $15, and that would be hectic. And basically, Hi Ren is a music video by a guy named Ren, and I'm sure you guys have seen it because it blew up a couple years ago, and it's about mental health, and it's really a good song. It's really good. But I don't think Amber needs to see it because it's going to give her ideas. Because from what I understand, the way Ren talks about mental health in this song is pretty accurate for people who struggle with that kind of thing. So I don't think Amber needs to see that because I don't think she needs any more ammo for her fake sob stories. All right, so Amber spent a couple minutes talking about how hot Emily is while still saying we're not together, etc. It was gross. I don't want to talk about it. But somebody says, I think she was the best you could get. And that's sad because she was not great.
I think she was the best you could get. Listen. Yeah, actually, because ugh, and it just sucks. I mean, if a friends with benefits comes out of it,
So think about what she's saying there. Emily, who was obviously a feeder, who was clearly only in the relationship for Amber's body. That was so obvious that she was using Amber just as a big body that she could make bigger. The same person who fed her fiance until she was no longer with us. Now, Emily says that that's what she wanted, but either way, this is also the same person who spent all of her time talking to other women because, again, she was only interested in Amber's body. That was it. That person is the best Amber could get, and Amber agrees. That's so sad. Like, I despise Amber. She's a horrible human being, but that's pathetic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel sorry for her at all, but it's just pathetic.
all of them, every single one of them, they want all of them at the same time. These are little babies. Yeah. Dad, I just
All right, listen. I talk baby talk to my pets too, but something about the way she does it is just annoying. Maybe it's just because I know who she is and she's annoying in general, but ugh, it sucks.
I can do whatever I want. But that was Twinkles and that was Wasables.
See, there's just something about the way she does it that is infuriating.
Oh, Twinkie thinks that she's my sick kid. Oh my god, I thought there was an ant on my screen. Your aunt.
Oh, shut up. This person said your aunt said you weren't important to space, which is the dance company. And she claimed she was a choreographer, or she said she choreographed.
I would choreograph dances and I would do them in front of audiences, obviously.
And Tammy was like, no, she was just like the water girl, basically. And so this person can't say aunt because that's been blocked. So she put an ant. And Amber actually goes, oh, I thought there was an ant on my screen. Shut up. God, that's so dumb. And if she said, I'm just kidding, I would be like, whatever. But I think she really wanted people to think that she thought there was an ant on her screen. God, what a dingus.
Aunt said you weren't important to space. My aunt is the dumbest human being.
There you go. And this is not a new thing. There was actually somebody years ago, and I don't know that I'll be able to find it. Actually, I found a video by Apathetic Facts, the hero of Girl World, and it talks about the blog post and it goes over the whole thing. So I will link that in the description. And here's a little clip from that just so you get an idea of what it's about.
I just felt I needed to speak on this because the lies and bragging she was saying is ridiculous. I honestly haven't thought about Amber in decades, but for some reason a video called Dancerlynn came up and I immediately recognized her, so I clicked and watched it. I'm mind blown over what she said, and I'm so confused because she was never a dancer, at least for space.
They said she was a whiny baby who constantly wanted to be a part of the group but couldn't keep up, and she would throw tantrums, of course. And so they let her be sort of like the manager or the water girl, basically. Now, there was no proof of it, but it lines up with what Tammy was saying too. And of course, she was not an actual dancer and choreographer. She exaggerates everything she does, just like when she said she did a lot of talent shows and she basically always got first prize.
I have been in lots of talent shows, but only about 5 of them were actually like first prize, second prize. Out of the 5, I won 4 first prize and 1 second prize.
I've ever known. My aunt knew nothing about the time I was in a space group when I was 10 or 11 years old. She knows nothing. Holy.
I mean, she may not have been like around, but she still had contact with the rest of your family. She probably still knew what you were doing. I don't know. But it's not out of the realm of possibility that she would be talking to your grandma. Probably not your mom, because she was on substances at the time, but she was probably talking to some of your family, and they were probably keeping her informed as to what you were doing and stuff. So just because you didn't see her doesn't mean she didn't know what you were doing. So Sarah Jumper says, don't do LolCow, Keemstar needs you. And my knee-jerk reaction to that was, no, he doesn't. That's stupid. But I got to thinking, I think that episode would do pretty damn well if she went on LolCowLive with Keem and Boogie, and now Wings is back apparently, which, God, that sucks. What an asshole. But anyway, and I know she's not talking about going on the main show, but regardless of what show she went on, I think it would make a lot of money because they have a setup where if you donate $20 or more, they do text to speech where it reads out your comment. Now, you think about if Girl World showed up to talk about Amber, that would be talking nonstop. What about Rarity? What about Aunt Tammy? Rain and Petals eavesdrop? Wipey? I mean, it would just go on and on and on. So, while I don't think Keemstar needs her, I do think they would make a shitload of money if she was on it. But it wouldn't be because people love her and want to watch her. It would be because they would be trolling her. And I think that's kind of the whole point of LolCowLive, really, is just to get people to troll. And that's why they do $20 donations, give you text to speech, because they know people want to troll people like Wings, and they would absolutely troll the shit out of Amber. And so they'd make a ton of money. So while Sarah Jumper is correct, I don't know that it's for the reasons she thinks.
Do you ever wish you had talent? I do. I know how to pay upwards to like 40 people's rent. I am the literal moneymaker of Girl World. Now that's a fucking talent. All by literally just being boring as fuck. So that's me.
So as smug as that was, and as infuriating and insufferable as that was, she's not really wrong. It does end up paying a bunch of bills for people, you know? But she is wrong in saying that it's a talent because you're not doing it on purpose, right? If she came out here and she was doing this intentionally, that would be a talent. But she thinks she doesn't deserve all this. She doesn't deserve all the hate. She doesn't deserve people talking about her and stuff because she thinks she's just a normal person. She has no clue why she's able to pay so many people's rent. But in the grand scheme of things, she's not wrong. Her being boring as fuck and being a weirdo does pay a lot of bills.
How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast today? I don't eat breakfast.
I wonder why. I wonder why Amberlynn Reid doesn't eat breakfast. Could it be that she wakes up at 3 in the afternoon?
You don't get up till after 3, so my sister can't do this or that with my mom because, you know, Amber, she don't get up till after 3.
So even if you eat right when you wake up, you're basically eating dinner at that point. So somebody asks Amber to list a favorite trait from each of her exes. And she says she's not going to talk about Casey, implying that she's still doubling down that Casey was the perpetrator, which that is pretty infuriating. But anyway, she's going through her exes and it was all pretty stupid. But then she says this.
After I dated Feline, it was Erica. Erica.
Now remember, Erica was a married woman. They had never met in real life. They had talked a little bit on the internet, and it started as just trolling. Erica just wanted to see if she could, you know, sort of trick Amber into doing an online relationship or whatever, kind of just for shits and giggles. And apparently Erica's wife knew about it and was in on it. Now, Amber claims that they fell in love. And I think Erica actually admitted that she ended up liking Amber, which, okay, I don't know what happened there. But it was never a relationship because, again, Erica was married and is still married. But Amber Amber has said that Erica cheated on her with her wife. I'm not sure how that works.
Erica's wife has every reason to be upset with Erica for what Erica did after the trolling stopped, which was falling in love with Amberlynn Reid and creating a relationship with her. I also have every reason to be pissed off that someone who was my long distance girlfriend lied to me, cheated on me, betrayed me.
But Amber really thinks of their time talking on the internet as a relationship.
You want to know what Erica would do? Erica literally, so she would post all of her gym stuff. Oh, transcript. Okay. She would post all of her gym stuff onto her like workout Instagram thing. So she would film the whole entire time at the gym, which was sometimes an hour, sometimes two. And then she would send it to me and make me watch it on YouTube, which I enjoyed it because like obviously like hi, we were in a relationship. Like I'd love to stare at you, you know?
See, there you go. Hi, we're in a relationship. Again, Erica was married. Erica was somewhere else in the United States, sending her videos and talking to her on the internet, all the while she is sleeping in the same bed as her wife, or at least in the same house as her wife, talking to her wife in person, touching her wife, and actually being present with her wife every single day. And she was just sending Amber stuff and talking to her on the internet. And Amber still says, hi, we were in a relationship. I mean, maybe kinda, like in the loosest sense of the word, but not really. You never met, you never touched. I would not call that a relationship. And I understand that a lot of relationships start on the internet nowadays, but at some point, for it to become an actual relationship, you need to like see each other in person and like touch, you know? So it's just sad, man. Is it weird to anybody else that she would send workout videos to Amber and make her watch it on YouTube?
And then she would send it to me and make me watch it on YouTube.
What does that even mean? She said she would post it on her Instagram, but then send it to Amber and make her watch it on YouTube. Because she didn't watch it like in her videos. So what does that mean? It sounds like it could be kind of creepy. Also, she is Winnie the Poohing. She shows her leg right there. Oh my God, that's gross. And just look at how much work it takes for her just to adjust a little bit in her seat.
Because like obviously like hi, we were in a relationship. Like I'd love to stare at you, you know?
She really had to put a lot of effort into moving like a small amount. But also think about that couch. I know it's gross and I hate to keep talking about it, but just think about what's happening on that couch when she does that. Ugh.
And make sure you guys let Jordy know that my leg just was in the frame. He's really obsessed with my body. Jordy like secretly has a thing for my legs, and that's fine. But like the way that he scopes them out, talk about obsession.
Obviously, she's very insecure about her legs. And I just think it's interesting that she would stream with no pants on. I think we all know that it's not a sexual thing for Jordy. It's just weird.
Talk about desire. Hello, hello.
You can be fascinated by something and not aroused by it. You know, maybe she doesn't understand that. But do you know who she's fascinated and aroused by? Jordy.
Creep.
She called him a creep. Really? Amber is going to call Jordy a creep? After she said that Emily is the best she's ever going to get. Knowing Emily, knowing who Emily is and what Emily is, she's going to sit here and call Jordy a creep? Really? Also, I don't think you can call anybody else a creep when you're sitting there on the crusty poop couch with no pants on.
What is his personality? This is literally me. This is me when I don't have a fucking aunt trying to fucking gaslight her way into the audience. This is me when I'm not having like fucking relationship problems with my ex. This is me when I don't give a fuck about the hate.
Oh yeah, she sounds like she doesn't give an F about the hate. Yeah, I'm sure.
Good mood. Like this is me.
And think about what just happened, right? This person who I don't know if they're a hater or not. It's Catherine says, what is this personality? Almost like, you are weird. And she's like, hell yeah, this is me. It's not really. She's pretending that things don't bother her. I think she's miserable. I think she's still miserable, and she's pretending to be so unaffected by everything, you know? Because she likes to act like she's super tough and you can't get to her by trolling or by hating. Remember when she said she was gonna go? That was 30 minutes ago. I kind of wish you would.
Jordy is married with 3 kids? That's not true. Jordy lives with his mom, like, literally just plays World of Warcraft. Like,
So, you know that married people with children can also play World of Warcraft, right? That is a thing. I play World of Warcraft off and on, and I am married with 2 kids. And I don't know what Jordy's family situation is, and I don't care because he doesn't make it public. So it's none of my business. Just because somebody plays World of Warcraft doesn't mean that they live in their mom's basement. Also, how do you know? That's a little weird that you claim to know so much about Jordy. Talk about desire.
he face is great. Him and I can frolic in the grass together if he wants. Like, please. Like, I'm pale.
What? You can frolic in the grass together? That is definitely her fantasy. I mean, being able to frolic, but also with Jordy.
I need some more, like, sun. He's great. He needs some more sun. We can go frolic together. Like, I might be slower than him, but I'm better than him.
I would love to take a poll on the internet, just internet at large. Who's better, Jordy or Amberlynn? I feel like it would be a little one-sided, and not in the way Amber thinks.
Don't go. Don't go. Don't go, Stephanie said.
And Window coming in with a diva, I thought you were going. Wrap it up. Yeah, again, that was 30 minutes ago.
No, I wasn't given pain medicine.
Yeah, Catnip says, were you given pain medicine in the ER? You're acting weird.
Catnip, this is me when I'm happy. This is how I know you guys don't know me because everyone's like, she's acting so weird. This is me.
No, it's not. We have seen you for 12 years now. This is weird. You're being weird. And it's interesting that she takes that as you guys don't know how quirky and funny and cool I am because this is me. But that's not what they're saying. They're saying you're being weird. So Amber, I guess, made a comment on Discord when she was in there talking to the LolCowLive Discord and everybody hated her. She said something about being digitized by a quote-unquote dickless man. And Amber's Red Couch, I approve that name, says, address the dickless man comment on Discord.
Address the dickless man comment on Discord. Wait, I'm living. The side of the internet would not understand.
And this is where Amberlynn has a serious problem on the internet in general. Now, she will explain in a minute why she left that comment. But her problem stems from the fact that she never thinks for a second how what she's saying could be taken by anybody else. She doesn't have the forethought or the brain power, basically, to imagine somebody misunderstanding what she's saying or reading a comment and taking it differently than she meant it. And that's kind of what ended up happening. A lot of people saw that comment and immediately thought she was talking about Casey and thought it was in pretty poor taste.
She said she was fingered by a dickless man. This is how I know you guys don't understand.
They're asking for clarification because it doesn't sound great and it's weird. So how about an explanation? Rather than just saying, haha, you guys don't understand. What is there to understand? What are we missing?
Oh my god.
See? And yeah, Anon says, why did you say that transphobic thing? And whether it was intended to be transphobic or not, it kind of sounds like it is.
I wasn't being transphobic. Okay, I guess now I can explain it because now it wants to be turned into a transphobic thing.
And look at how surprised she is right there. Anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together could read that comment and think, I can see how that might be taken as transphobic, right? Even if they don't think it was, even if they understand what she was saying, you can see how it could be taken that way. But she's so oblivious that she's like, well, what the heck? People are turning it into a transphobic thing when it just sounds like it could very well be transphobic. But she's only got the 1 brain cell, I think.
So in the LolCow, if you guys know Keemstar has his show called LolCowLive. He has now made a 24-hour circuit, which means there are 12 shows. LolCow Nerds, LolCow Tech Talk, LolCow Rewind, LolCow Dolls, who now turned into LolCow Nuts. There's LolCow Balls, there's LolCow this, LolCow that. One of them, there is Sweetie, who is on LolCow Tech Talk. Sweetie is a girl who said when she was younger, she was in a relationship, who she cheated on her boyfriend because she was fingered by a guy who got his penis cut off by a machine. It was an accident. He is not transgender, nothing like that. So no, that's not transphobic. It was a joke because I was supposed to be interviewed by Sweet Tea, and I was making a joke, and I said me and Sweet Tea have a lot of things in common. I was also fingered by a dickless man. It was supposed to be a pun, a joke. It was supposed to be funny.
Well, first of all, she obviously doesn't know what a pun is. But see how she's so smug and she has this righteous indignation of like, how dare you say that I would say something transphobic when she's explaining that it is an inside joke that was on a podcast that is sort of a niche within a niche within a niche within a niche. So most people, even in those discords, probably would not know what she's talking about. And even if they do, there will be some people that don't and will assume that that is a transphobic comment. And in her little rant here, she was like, the guy got his thing cut off. He wasn't trans. I wasn't being transphobic. That's not the point. Obviously, they're talking about Casey. Who else would you be saying that about? You need to understand your own history. It is just very telling and strange that it never even crossed Amber's mind to think that saying I got digitized by a dickless man would sound like she's talking about Casey. Of course, that's what it sounds like. And the fact that she is so oblivious and so delusional that that doesn't even enter her mind is, I guess, par for the course, honestly. I can't say I'm surprised, but it is still just so weird. And I understand that she wasn't thinking when she typed it, and she could be forgiven for not thinking and just typing without thinking and moving on. But once it's brought up, her first reaction should be, oh, yeah, I guess I can see how you would say that. Like, that makes sense. But she is so oblivious, it doesn't even cross her mind. Even after she gets told that sounded like a transphobic comment. She is just like, why? Well, why do you think?
It was nothing, because that's never happened to me. So there was nothing transphobic about that. God, people are so dumb.
This person has a controversial history with a trans person who she dated. She made a comment that was pretty distasteful, and most people probably don't understand the inside joke. And when they see that, knowing her history with a trans person, she has the absolute audacity to call the audience dumb for pointing out that that comment sure sounds a lot like it's bordering on transphobia. Considering you have accused the trans person that you dated of some pretty heinous things and you don't hide your disdain for him, I'd say the audience is well within their rights to think maybe you were making a pretty disgusting comment. Now, whether your explanation is true or not, I don't know. I don't watch any of the LolCow stuff, but it's still baffling that after all this, all you had to say was, oh, I can see why you would say that. It didn't sound great, but this is the explanation. My bad. But instead, no, the audience is dumb. Fuck off. You are, God, she is just the worst, bro.
It's just ridiculous. But yeah, I'm not gonna let my bad mood be like tainted by like literal trolls. So that's how easy it is for me to just be like, bye, see you guys later.
I'm not going to let my bad mood be tainted by trolls. I think she means good mood, you know? But another rage quit. She decides, I don't want to be trolled anymore. Man, she is so thin-skinned. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. If she had just said, you know what? I can see how you would see that as insensitive. I can see how you might think that what I said was transphobic. That sucks, my bad. Or even just, I can see how you would think it was transphobic. It wasn't, here's the context, and then leave it at that. But instead, she, again, refuses to even acknowledge that she could have had anything to do with the misunderstanding. You're stupid for not knowing this really niche, stupid story that was told on a really niche, relatively unknown podcast. If you did watch that relatively unknown podcast, you would know what I was talking about. So you're the dumb one. But it's that locus of control. It's your fault. It's everybody else for calling her a transphobe. It's not that she said that. And the thing is, I don't think she's a transphobe. That's not the point of this. My point is, there was a misunderstanding. It could have easily been avoided. But even if it wasn't, it could have easily been remedied when she just said, I can see how you would think that. My bad. And that would have made her look like such a grown-up, such a mature adult that actually thinks through what they're saying. But that's not Amber. That is not Amber. Anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.